important was it to kind of self-scout over the bye?
We did about as deep a dive as I can remember. Our coaches stayed here after we let our players go, and really interesting, the results. And then you couple it with the first time we were really in my lifetime had a chance to take a Sunday and watch everything that goes on in this league. I learned a lot. But the self-scout was priceless. Now we got to do something with it. There's some very tangible things that came to light that we need to get fixed.
What do you learn from watching all those games?
Just how fragile every snap is, how fragile teams are. The Bengals go out there and just play so well, and the Titans played so well, and it's just the parity of the league. It's incredible.
What did you sort of learn about your team? You said you did a deep dive and everything.
Well, the most important thing is the health. First of all, we're knock on wood, a soft tissue injury. The sports performance model is working. We've had injuries, but those are the hardest part of the whole job is the structural injuries, the linders, the high ankle sprains, and so we got to keep our guys healthy, especially on this 11-game run we're getting ready to go on. And then certain areas that I don't want to give up too much information, we're just not very good at, that we struggled with, and a lot of it was self-inflicted errors that we got to get fixed. And how difficult it is in the NFL because of a smaller roster, and how do you get those reps without having reps, if you make sense. You can only go, we got some players that are 30 years old, and the heat down here, how do you get those practice reps so they don't make mistakes, yet blow the players out? That's the biggest issues that we got to get fixed and be more efficient in practice. And I actually met with our leaders today about that, is that we got to, I have a really great group of leaders on our team, and how we just can't have mistakes in practice. I know that sounds simple, but you can't. You got to really lock in, especially the younger players.
You knew coming in that these were going to be some challenges for you, the limited roster and all that other stuff. But is it different now that you're going through it?
Well, it magnifies.
Yeah.
Now that I witness and experienced it, because I could say I knew it from afar. Now I know it because I'm in it. And that's why I hired certain older, NFL experienced coaches. And that's another reason why I signed a guy like Marvin Jones and some older players. I felt good about our offense line because you had a couple of veterans in there that I would learn from. But just when you start saying how many reps in practice you get compared to the college life, and yet you still have these unforced errors that we're making. So I feel good about the second run we're going to go on here, about just the efficiency. And now we've been in the system for a while. Now the excuse of a new system, the excuse of a young quarterback, that's all gone, because our young quarterback's playing pretty good.
A lot of talk,
Obviously, in the first 6 weeks about the ascension of Trevor. What about on the defensive side of the ball? What are you seeing there? I mean, it looked like it was a little bit better against Miami, but it just doesn't look like they're making the same type of ascension that you would probably like.
Yeah, I think we went into the storm thinking that we're going to be playing a very high percentage of man coverage, and we figured out quickly that we're going to have to mix in a lot of zone. And then that's where you say, okay, the number of reps you have to get a team ready to play that zone cover. You can't say, okay, let's go play zone. So that bye week was good. We spent some time on that, the combination of both. That's the biggest thing on defense. And then the flat MAs. There's 4 times we just turned a guy loose in man coverage because of bunch routes, pick routes, or whatever. And you're talking about 4 times that in those games that were really close. So I see this. I really like where we're headed in defense, but we need to start seeing it.
Okay. How much of what you need to start seeing is related to getting takeaways?
We're not there yet. I mean, we had one, I think, right? Then we had one.
I meant moving forward.
No, I wish I could say that now we're going to start emphasizing it. We've been emphasizing that darn thing since March, and it hasn't happened for us for whatever reason. I think playing your back to the ball, which you do a lot in man coverage, doesn't relate to interceptions. Keeping your face to the ball is how. So we're going to, rotate a little more zone coverage in there, which we have already. and that was the interception we had in zone coverage the other day. So that's been a high emphasis, and taking care of the ball on offense and getting it on defense.
How do you feel about your draft picks? You see going forward that they
Feel really good. Trevor, obviously, Etienne, I just think, I can't wait to get him because of his explosiveness. You got Tyson Campbell should be back this week and ready to go. We think he's going to have a long career as a excellent corner. He showed great strides. We got Walker Little. We still feel great about him. I know he had COVID issues, but he's going to be we feel, a very good player. Help me out. Luke Farrell, I think's better than what we thought. Our coach is really excited about him. Jay Tufeli broke his hand. By the way, he had surgery. He should be back in a few weeks. We feel good about him. And our center, or our safety, Andre Cisco, we got to get him on the field. He's practicing pretty good, but we got to feel good about him. Jordan Smith still got a long way to go, but we think we knew that he'd be a developmental type guy. Is that it?
Camp.
Yeah, I didn't make it.
How does Seattle playing tonight, how does that affect your preparation week? Especially when you haven't seen that quarterback very often.
Well, we're going to watch him closely. We have a lot of familiarity. One thing about Coach Carroll, when I first went to Utah, they were the top team in college football at USC. Studied him quite a bit. I don't know him really well, but obviously I've respected his work, and to the point where I really studied him. And we hired some guys off his staff because I think, he's done a great job, I thought. The culture build, the competitive spirit that he has out there. So, we have a lot of guys that know their system, that know their players. Will that help us? I don't know. I think that stuff's overrated, but just learning about we'll all watch it tonight, obviously.
You'll watch together, not the team, obviously the coaches.
I don't have any idea. I think we spend too much time together anyway.
Is it difficult to really stretch the field without having a guy like DJ out there?
Yeah, it hurts a little bit. That's for Tyron. Tyron's got to come on, and the guy that's really come on is Agnew. He's if you even watch that Miami Dolphin game close, he was open. He had a couple where he pulled away. He's our best separator right now. But an offense without speed on the outside, like elite speed, that's the first time I've had to deal with it.
Is DJ expected back at some point, or is he out for the year?
He's out for the year. So to answer your question, yeah, that hurts us.
do you see the trade deadline coming up? You can't go in specifics, but do you feel you still need to add?
Yes, we're having that hard conversation. So much of it, who's going to be healthy the rest of the year, and then also we keep on offense. How do you build this around your quarterback? What exactly do we need? And I think last March we had the conversation. Well, number one thing that I remember, Joe Burrow and Schottenheimer and Bevel, we just had the conversation. You got to get a good run game, and right now we're starting to play a little bit. James is really playing well, and our offensive line's playing well. That's why we got Manhurts. That's why you got Luke, Carlos, and the other thing, our offensive line to this point has kept him upright. The thing we don't have is when DJ went down, do we have that home run hitter on the outside? I think LaVisca's playing very well. Marvin's playing really well. We're, just one speed guy short. And it might be Agnew, maybe it's Tyron, maybe it's something else.
This might be out of left field, literally. But of all your former teams, do the Braves mean anything to you, being in the World Series?
I'll be honest, I didn't even know they were. I can tell you the score of every NFL game, but I can tell you. Is that right? Good for them.
They're in the World Series for the first time in 2020.
Is Bobby Cox still the manager? And Fred McGriff, my old teammate Fred McGriff, is he still playing?
No. You talk about your baseball days very much?
Ronnie Gant, is he still playing shortstop?
No.
So I must have missed something in the last 20 years.
So you don't even follow the Braves?
Dale Murphy and Bob Horner still.
They're all retired. All right, you said enough. I'll move on.
I'm still a fan, I guess. But Chipper? Doggone it.
Unfortunately, he had a good run, 18 years, I think. Was it longer than that, Gene? He's from Jacksonville,
No, 18's right.
18 years.
Yeah, we used to take my son to games. He was great.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, we'll end on that. Thanks, Urban.